For most of my life, I've been a self-directed language learner. In fact, that's exactly how I learned Chinese. I had a little bit of group instruction in a class in 1981 here in Japan, but after that, it was mostly on my own, working through cassette tapes, books I picked up in China, and whatever other material I could find. By the time I entered graduate school to study Chinese literature at Kyushu University, I had already built my foundation through self-study. So when Keats Language School, with campuses across China, invited me to spend 1 week studying in Kunming and another week in Chengdu, I was genuinely curious. Could structured one-on-one instruction still make a difference for someone like me? In this video, I'm going to share my experience studying at Keats, and you'll also hear directly from several students interviewed at the Kunming campus about why they chose this kind of immersive learning of Chinese. During my time there, I studied 4 hours a day, one-on-one, with two excellent teachers, Miss Pan in Kunming and Amber in Chengdu. I will concentrate on the Kunming campus to keep the video at a reasonable length. Both places offered excellent opportunities to improve my Chinese and included accommodation and 3 meals a day. I worked with my tutors on tones, reading simplified characters, and refining what sounds natural in Chinese, something that's surprisingly hard to master on your own. And I mentioned simplified characters because mostly I use traditional characters to learn Chinese, and here in Japan, we use a form which is between Chinese simplified and the traditional characters still used in Taiwan and some other places outside of mainland China. During the lessons, I often saw a character that I was uncertain of until I saw the traditional form. I started at an upper intermediate to advanced level in their program. They have text, usually in the form of PDFs, which you actually can see on the instructor's large computer screen during the lesson as you go through it, and then later receive from them with the notes that were written during the lesson in order to review. So the lessons were completely tailored to my needs in this way. If I wanted to dig deeper into the use of some words or phrases, etc., then that's what we did. But I won't sugarcoat it for you. 4 hours of focused study every day is demanding. Yes, of course, we take a short break of 10 to 15 minutes somewhere around the middle, but it really pushes your limits. There was one student in Chengdu who was studying 6 hours a day of one-on-one lessons. Now that is really getting into it. So as you see from that, you can choose how many hours a day you wish to study. And it can be either group or one-on-one lessons, or actually even a combination of both. That said, the effort was absolutely worth it. I really felt that I was improving every day, even though I have read Chinese literature 40 years ago or so and traveled extensively in China. Now, the on-site immersion part does help, but actually I've spent a lot of time traveling in China, so that wasn't the main benefit for me. It was a one-on-one tailored instruction, and to be able to explore questions about syntax, what sounds naturally, etc. What made the difference for me was the structure, the feedback, and maybe most importantly, the motivation to review and prepare every day for the next day's lesson. That's something self-study doesn't always give you. And as you will see from the students I interviewed, for many people, this kind of immersive, personalized learning can make a huge difference. And I understand that even though I am oriented towards self-learning, but now I see how you can combine the two. In other words, I suggest that yes, self-study can really give you the foundation you need to make quick progress once you take structured lessons. And let me say before we get into the interviews, if you're thinking about studying in China, Keats has offered viewers of this channel a 300 renminbi discount. Just use the code Polyglot 300. I'll also leave it in the description below. So now I'm here at Keats in Kunming with V, and she's going to tell you about her experiences and her opinion concerning self-study and directed study here in China.
Hi everybody, my name is V. I'm a Chinese Vietnamese American student, I guess, right now, and I'm studying international business. In terms of my experience with self-study versus staying here at Keats and being kind of immersed in Chinese culture, I feel as though in terms of self-study, it can be very difficult to retain knowledge simply because you're not using it. You can practice as much as you want, but sometimes the context will change or one word will change, and redirecting and responding appropriately can be really difficult. In terms of studying here at Keats, with the schedule and with the interaction with native Chinese speakers, as well as spending time outside in the city, you find so many uses for the vocabulary and the words that you've used and learned. And I feel as though having a memory to associate with that new knowledge lends its hand to learning the language as a whole.
So hi everyone, I'm Janice. I've been there around 2 months already now. I decided to study on my own, so it's like 4 hours of Chinese every day. I, for my own experience, prefer to do the on one-to-one courses because I wanted to go like also faster because I want to work with China after that. So I'm here for 6 months, so I wanted to improve fast. And also I think because I have not like the confidence if I was in a group and I would be a bit late compared to each other, I thought it would be too hard for me. So I thought, oh, I prefer to go on a courses when we can go to my own rhythm. So that's one of the big points here, like your teacher is really adaptable to you and what you think and what you actually want. And that's really something I discovered there and that I love a lot.
So did you study Chinese on your own before coming here?
I went to China last June, and that's what made me take the decision that I wanted to actually study Chinese. I will prepare for the next 6 months, but I was still working, and so I was like, oh, it's a bit complicated, and I didn't want to learn wrongly the towns and the pronunciation, so I decided to say, okay, you will be there 6 months. Let's start when you will be there. And it's still a long journey after 2 months. For example, now we are very focused on reading to make sure my towns and my pronunciation is still good. Like vocabulary is like coming, like structure and grammar still, but I'm still a bit of a slow learner with the pronunciation. So now we are working on this with point together with my teacher. Well, I went to the swimming pool on my own and I actually ordered a ticket, like buy some swimming cap, and so this is the kind of little thing I can actually now do in Chinese.
My lovely teacher, Ms. Bond, is going to explain the teaching methods that she uses here at Keats Language School.
Okay, most students come here, we're gonna meet them one day before they're having class, so we can get to know each other and decide what level they are and then choose the book for them. That's the first step. And after that, we start our class. When we're having class, our teacher will personalize the class. Like some students like cooking, but some students, they're very studious, so they like to work on the books or the words, the sentence. But if you want to talk more, like speaking Chinese, teacher would speak to you and choose the topic for you, whatever you like. Also, tell you some words you don't know and like writing this kind of little flashcard for you to review after your class. And every class we're having new words, of course, so we're gonna review before we're having the new class. That's helpful because of course you review after class by yourself, but with your teacher is more like professional. After that, we're starting to learn new words for today. Basically is from the books, but also if we're talking about something and some new words came up, 3 sentences for each word. And then practice. Make sure you understand this word and how to use this word. For me, I'm more talkative, so I talk a lot to help my students to practice their listening and everything.
Coming into the entrance here in the reception. 你好，
你好，
在这里教中文吗？
是的，我们教中文。
Okay, 谢谢. So coming into the dining area, it's just about lunchtime. Oh, nice bunch of vegetables and a pork dish. And here comes V.
Hello。
Here is Keats Fitness Center. As the students study here, they have a chance to work out. It's a universal machine over here and some sit-ups and using the weights a bit. So I think that's a nice touch for the school to have. Keats has the activities which the students can participate in, and then we have sign-up sheets down here. So this is the area where the Keats Language School is. It's right over there on the left-hand side in the second building. It's more or less a central area of Kunming, as you can see. So quite convenient. So in the end, it's not really self-study versus guided study. It's how you combine the two. And for me, this kind of focus, one-on-one learning, was a very valuable experience. It was challenging, it pushed me, and it reminded me that no matter how long you've been learning a language, there's always room to refine your knowledge and improve your skills. If you're serious about your Chinese, this is definitely something worth considering. Thank you for listening. All the best in your language studies, and see you in the next video.